There comes a point in life when the noise becomes an overwhelming discomfort. When the beeping and buzzing becomes the narrative of the constant day-to-day struggle. An escape must be made. Past the traffic, over the river, beyond the gorge, outside the intertangled web of society's constant turbulence. As the plains rise, you rise. When the elevation gains and the mountains reveal themselves, the two-wheeled man changes. With an increased heartbeat, the mind begins to spin off the empty canvas ahead. Where the common man turns around, the adventurous seeks the path of the unknown trail. The perfect lip and the unfolding challenge of Earth's vast terrain. It's a feeling we all relate to, but most have forgotten. Sometimes the only way to remember is to get lost.
You know, I can go to a race, I can be around all these other people, but I like to get off the beaten path. It's really fun going with a group of like-minded individuals and finding new stuff, not being around the hustle, just experiencing new things, maybe going somewhere that not a lot of people go in general, and poking around on my motorcycle. Like, you never know what you're gonna come across.
Funnest part, besides riding with everybody, is getting back to camp and hanging out, just enjoying life out here. It's really peaceful. You know, I know it's a desert, but I like it out here, so, you know, getting woken up in the morning super early is kind of annoying, though.
Rise and shine, stir back time.
Can you get us some coffee? Energy. Grounded.
A few of us, you know, we bounce between moto and off-road, but the special thing about off-road riding, it's more diverse. You don't know what's around the next corner. Motocross track, you do laps, you start to memorize that line, you know where the hole's developing. When we're just going out exploring, it's all just kind of about letting whatever out there come to you. That's some of the unique stuff about riding trail is you never know what's around the next corner. Kevin's gonna do something silly here in the garbage dump.
T right here. Having the mix of skill together was really good because, I can look at something and be like, there's no way I can jump that or that's even possible. But then Kevin can look at it and be like, whatever, just hit it. It's nothing.
Where we were at, we had 2 mountain ranges on each side of us, and when a little storm system would come in, it would pick up quick, the wind would pick up, get dark really quick, and then it might be gone at the same time pretty quickly. So we had to be ready to kind of get our shots and move on.
As we're driving in, everything just looks amazing. It looks like you could just ride every piece of it, but when you get up close, it's a little bit of a different story. Transitions aren't there a lot of times. It's either sand or silt, something that's not going to hold up and just blow through when you try and ride it.
Coming down that ridge.
It just made stuff a lot harder.
You can actually, there's a little step down there.
It's always interesting when you have four guys and you're, we're all different people. We have different agendas. Some people don't like to get up early. Some people like to get up early. But early morning light's really good to get some shots. So we're trying to hustle a couple of the mornings and get out and get those shots.
The early mornings were tough. The cold nights were tough. Pretty much just like a mountain of pillows over top of me all night. So I didn't freeze. I got woke up pretty rude a couple mornings, I guess, but all in good fun.
What are you gonna do today?
Ride dirt bikes, hit big mounds.
Kyle, time for school.
We dropped out.
So on this project, crashing at family's property in a tent, in basically in their yard.
It's warmer out here than it is in the tent. Maybe not.
I slept in a van. It kind of makes for a great atmosphere. You're around people that share the same interests that you do. Motorcycles is the common bond and getting out and exploring.
Fish Lake Valley was really cool. It was a long drive in there. Drove through a bunch of silt beds, which was an adventure all in itself.
It's always tough to get going, but when you're out there and nobody else is out there in the mountains, it's just rad.
Gold. Let's go find some gold in them hills. Right there, look at those things. Way over there? Yeah.
All right. If we sink in, I'm gonna be so upset.
I hope it's not soft.
As we pulled in,
Again, amazing mountains, pretty much untouched. You know, just huge mountains, big hill climbs. Being able to just like be creative and carve your own lines up these hills was cool. It kind of brings me back to like snowmobile riding, where you just have the freedom to go wherever you want. A lot of what off-road riding is all about is, you know, having that knowledge and skill to ride so many different types of dirt. Like, you know, we're not out there on a prepped, watered track everywhere we go. You know, we find something cool, you know, a line you want to hit, but then you get there and, you know, there's some nasty rock, like right in the most critical spot where you need to be super smooth to not kill yourself jumping off this cliff. Kind of just have to deal with it. You don't have a choice.
Ski area. Kevin was loving it. We got some really cool jumps there.
Dude, I think I could double that in the middle.
After pretty much just breathing in Nesquik all day, we found this hot springs in the middle of the desert on the way out and took a bath. That was good. That was a much needed bath. It's been a few days.
All right, all showered for the day.
Oh, now you want my towel?
Yeah, your towel.
I didn't bring anything. That's what happens when you forget your bag. It's the best part of the day, I think, after all that silt we rode in.
To a new spot and there's nobody around and you can do whatever you want, that's like the best. You ride places where you're like, oh, I can't go off the trail, and you know, that sucks. So out here, we had a blast. You know, we just take off, go up any hill we want. There's nobody out there.
When the dust settles and the high desert shows itself, the two-wheeled rider journeys north. Seeking new terra firma and a change of environment, they find themselves to the lush, jagged terrain beyond the 45th parallel.
We left California, it was 95 degrees, hot, dry. Come over the pass over here and you just see this amazing mountain range that we're gonna go ride all week. It's good change. You know, we haven't ridden rain in I don't know how long. It's been a few months for me.
You know, we start at 6,000 feet in the valley bottom, and then up from there. It's high altitude stuff. It's all green. You know, there's grass, trees, rocks, sheer cliffs, way back in the mountains where there's nothing, you know, maybe animal trails and sometimes just ridge lines, rock faces, whatever we can find to put our motorcycles on and get across. We kind of started off on dirt bike trails, but the further back into the mountains, that kind of peters out. Like, most people never go that far back. So it gets to a point where you're kind of just looking for any little thing to ride on. And the only thing out there is animal trails, maybe deer, maybe sheep, who knows. Anything we see that looks like we can put a dirt bike on it, we'll go for it. I've always found it like satisfying, I guess, to be able to pick a point and achieve it, you know, to put your motorcycle on the top of that mountain where you know no one has ever put a motorcycle before, or probably there's never been a person there before. The altitude adds a whole nother level to it. You just can't get the oxygen into your lungs. And the same with the bike. A real struggle because it's deceiving to what you can actually do. It was crazy because we're going up this hillside, steep hillside, and you get to the top and it is an absolute 500-foot cliff on the other side.
Look how jagged this freaking ledge is.
You get to the top of a climb, and there's a cliff everywhere, 5 feet away, and you're gonna die, you know? So it's just the most jagged terrain out here.
To the clear rock. Out there, we've been going so fast.
No way. I'm not going down it.
We're not doing it. We'll just go over like 50 feet to our left and down there. My bike was this close to just going. Yeah. I barely stopped it.
I think we're both drawn to like rocks. We just like see rocks and we just go there, like, you know, like a moth to light. We're just like, oh, rock. Like, what can we do on this rock?
3, 2, 1.
That's a big mountain.
The rocks are jumping. Whoa! See that one? Sent it.
You know, the trails we found that were Little Goat Pass, it started as just little animal trails, and you can just kind of ride them and see where they go, and fun to do some gnarly side hills on them. I think goats are gnarlier than us, that's for sure.
Dude, so sketchy. The top part was like the bike was just going. There's nothing you do to stop it. I laid it down, but my hands hurt so bad, just for like death grip.
I mean, I didn't really bring anything. I had my phone, some chapstick, and 30 bucks. I don't know why. There's no stores out there. I had a water bottle. I just put it under my seat. I just fill it up in the creeks. You know, the water is so fresh up there, you can just drink it. So I just keep it full and a little safety water into there. It's smart to prepare with tools, little parts that break quite often, you know. Definitely water and food. If you got stranded out there overnight, it wouldn't be good. That's for sure.
It's in the middle of nowhere, so the key is to prepare for it. Check your bike, make sure everything's good on your bike, make sure you're not taking faulty equipment. We have to be really careful. There's two of us riding, and it's kind of scary to be out there in the middle of nowhere and have these big mountains between us and home, and you got to get back over them. There's no other way.
But yeah, the extreme style of riding is probably my favorite thing to do. It's what I grew up doing, and you know, I don't get to do it that often anymore. It beats just doing laps on an enduro cross track. It's like mainly what I do. Getting out here and just hanging out and trying to make it fun with friends and stuff is still the best time you can have.
You know, there's tons of ways to go ride your motorcycle. To get out in the mountains and just explore and, you know, never hit the same piece of terrain twice, and to go find these beautiful locations, I don't think anything beats it. We're riding through trees, down waterfalls, like nothing compares.
The mountains and unknown trail can provide a common ground for adventure. But a good rain on a raw hillside track is an escape in its own sense. When the two-wheeled rider makes his return home, he realizes he doesn't always have to journey afar to get lost.
He's right behind us. Sneaking out. Lunchtime.
Lunch break?
Lunch break.
Yep.
Because he was gonna have to hike way up, back up to get to the top.
Hopefully it's not just pointing in the sky.
Dude, he's just slipping on his ass.
It's not looking very good. He's just laying on the ground the whole time.
How's your ass? Hurt. Yeah, I bet. Is he kicking your ass?
You like yourself some Timmy Hortons?
It's like hot chocolate.
Oh yeah.
I love a double.
I used to survive on Timmy's.
Double.
Breakfast there, the English coffee,
Coffee.
Yeah.
Two
cinnamon raisin
cream, two
bagel,
sugars.
cream cheese.
Solid. Oh.
I was gonna say, Kevin, are you out of your element? But you're in every element. You are the elements.
Yeah. and What's new?
All right, guys.
My nipples are so hard. Cut glass. What'd you say?